My dear Mr. President, for several weeks I've made it my business to talk with thoughtful and informed Negroes in various parts of the country. Those conferences and reports which have come to me cause me to place before you the observation of what appears to be a situation serious enough to merit careful study by yourself and others concerned with the continuation of the ideas of your administration. I have found deep affection for you and Ms. Roosevelt among colored Americans in all walks of life. They share the feeling of many other Americans that, at least so far, at the heart is concerned, you are genuinely concerned with the well-being of an improvement of opportunities for all Americans, and particularly those who are disadvantaged. But over and above this personal regard for yourselves is a widespread and growing feeling of despair, distrust, and even bitterness because of the apparently increasing control of party policy, so far as the Negroes are concerned, by Southern congressmen, senators, and others who are bitterly anti-Negro. I refer to such figures as Senator Conley, Burns, Glass, Smith, George, Harrison, and Bilbo, whose Negrophobia reached its climax in the vicious attacks on the Negro during the filibuster against the anti-lynching bill. There is puzzlement and bitterness among Negroes because even Northern Democrat senators did not raise their voices against the oft-times ridiculous attacks on the Negro. However, they are not unaware of the fact that Republican senators were equally mute. It is my conviction that it would be a serious mistake to believe that the Negro vote is irrevocably fixed in the Democratic ranks. It will be equally a mistake to believe that not only the leaders of Negro opinion, but the rank and file are satisfied with the deal the Negro has received even under your administration. Excerpt, 1939, letter to Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Well, I think that the verdict for most African Americans on the New Deal was delivered in the 1936 election. And that election was crucial because for the first time, African Americans overwhelmingly supported the Democratic Party rather than the party of Lincoln. This shift, as you well know, has been a lasting shift to support for the Democratic Party, but it also placed Roosevelt in a dilemma that I think has also faced every subsequent Democratic candidate. And that is, how do you at the same time appeal for black votes while keeping the votes of white Americans, and particularly those in the South? This becomes the concern of the Roosevelt administration, the Truman administration, John F. Kennedy, Lyndon Johnson, Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, and whoever is elected next. Because now we see that no longer is the South a solidly Democratic region. Now the South has become, in part because of the race issue, a solidly Republican part of the country. I think Bethune tried as best she could to, rather than muzzle the criticisms of the New Deal, she gave them voice. She provided conferences where people could get together and discuss the strengths and the limitations of the New Deal.